All right, we back now. Let me know if y'all can hear me clearly once I get in the room. My bad, y'all. I think I got the issue fixed now, so we should be able to get the show rolling again. Wait on y'all to get into the room. What's going on, everyone? I think I fixed the issue what we're having, so we should be good to go now. I have to wait on a few more people to get back in here. My bad, y'all. I think YouTube may have it to where you can't use their audio going through StreamYard. I believe that's what's going on because all my other audio was feeding into StreamYard. So I have it set up on my audio interface to go through StreamYard. But I think YouTube may have put a block because people be streaming games and stuff like that. I think YouTube probably has went out their way to stop people from sharing their audio from their site. So I believe that's probably what it was. But I was able to just download it and so I have the audio ready for y'all to listen to. You can't sell culture. Right. So I'm gonna wait till we get at least 20 people in here and then I start back up. What is good? What's going on, Power 96? Had a little technical difficulties, but we good to go now. Swag Bud, was that you who interviewed Dan Calloway on his channel about 20 days ago? No, I didn't interview anyone. What's going on, Jonathan Bernard? What's up with you? What's up, Swag Buzz? Haven't heard from you in a while. Yeah, I know, man. I've been trying to I think I'm gonna start doing lives at least once or twice a week until the football season starts. I think that's probably what I'm gonna do. Because there's not a lot going on. So I at least like to let a little time go by, a few days go by so we can get some content and things to talk about when we do shows. And then for the season, when the season starts, I'm gonna have like a whole schedule. Like I'm probably gonna do like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then Saturday pregame I do shows as well. So yeah, we'll be ramping up things by the time the summer hit. What's up, Swag Buzz? Where you been, man? I've been around. I had a little vacation for a while, so I took a break. I took a vacation break. I got to get mouth surgery soon too, so I'm gonna have to. That might knock me out for like a couple of days, but I'll be all right. I have to get some work done on a tooth in the back. I get a root canal done. Yeah, I gotta get root canal done. Dr. Campbell. Habari Gunner, my brother, and peace to the chat. All right, so we're gonna get back to the topic. So what I was doing before, I was playing Marcellus Wiley. He did a video talking about HBCU culture. Coach, he's talking about HBCU culture, how we should be okay with letting people from outside the culture use our culture for their benefit. And so I wanted to get y'all input on that. I wanted to share my input about it. So let me play that video and audio for y'all right now. Hold on just a second.
Criticism is the cost of praise. That is a wins he wants in terms of recruiting and character, right? Quarterback, 3.5 GPA or no.
I'm gonna
right
fast forward
the culture because
this is the part I want y'all to hear. I'm gonna fast forward through all the other stuff, but this is the part I want y'all to hear. Hold on, y'all.
Culture right now is trying to possess Deion Sanders instead of protect Deion Sanders. The culture feels like it was backstabbed, right? The culture felt like Deion Sanders turning his back on him, right? You go from an HBCU in Jackson State, and all of a sudden now you're at Colorado, and some term that I swear y'all just made up, but hey, who am I? HBCU, yeah, I've heard of that. Historically Black College University. PWI, I was like, what the hell is this? and it was like predominantly white institution. I would love to know the birth certificate on that, but that's what it is. So all of a sudden, here we go. We got a civil war going on. Black, white. Even though there's white people at the HBCU and there's certainly some black people at Colorado.
First off, the fact that he didn't know what a PWI was lets you already know what his game is. And these are the type of people they put on TV to represent us, y'all. These are the type, like you can't be someone from the culture and get on TV because they're gonna gatekeep that kind of stuff. These are the type of guys they like to put on their platforms to represent black people and black culture. You don't even know what a PWI is. You talk about, so that's something that we just made up a couple of years ago. That just goes to show you how outside he is. But let's keep going.
And you got a black coach there. The culture. He's trying to possess, not protect Deion. Don't you dare take what we got and take it over there and let them do it. Why? I thought the highest form of flattery was imitation. And I've noticed this since I was itty bitty. Y'all remember the dance like the centipede and the ET and all the Cabbage Patch and all that? I remember when dances used to like start on the block. And I've always wanted to know who starts any dance. Like, who's the first person on planet Earth to say, I'm going to hit the ET? Like, who does that? And whoever they are, they get no credit, right? So somebody at one party back in 81 was just doing this. They're like, girl, that looks like ET. And I guess it had to be later because ET came out there. So then she like, oh, girl, I'm doing ET. Then it spread through the block, right? And then all of a sudden, somebody gets an audience. Somebody gets it outside those borders. And next thing you know, you see it on mainstream television, in a TV show, Fresh Prince or something. He doing it, right? Somebody else is doing it. And you're like, they stole our dance. They didn't steal your dance. They took it and they imitated it, which gave you a compliment if you will accept the compliment. But I've seen that happen in different ways. This is where it gets sticky. It's okay.
The reason why imitation isn't good for us is because when people imitate black culture, they flip it, they remix it, they turn it into a clown show, and they don't respect it. That's the problem. That's the reason why HBCU folks are very leery about people being inside the culture and taking from the culture, because you would take it and make it a clown show and embarrass us all. That's what we don't want. And he can't even see that. He can't comprehend that.
Okay for Will Smith to hit the ET. But when it's a white actor, all of a sudden you're like, oh, look at them. They over there appropriating. They stealing our stuff. They hijacking our stuff, right? So then it made me think, I'm a little kid just like, why are we beefing over who started something when none of us knows who really started it? But it's okay if it continues to go and grow. So then we get to this. Oh, no, that's our music. We created R&B. We created country music, etc. True, true, true. But I don't want to get into that game. I don't want to get into, well, we did this and y'all did that, because then we're all going to be left without something. Be real. Like, black people have created a lot of stuff. White people have created a lot of stuff. I like the world where we actually can live in, where we can combine those two things and others and not have to sit there sounding insecure because you want to possess that and you don't want anybody else to take that.
Why should we want anybody else to take that? Do other people share their culture with us like that? No. If we took their culture and remixed it and flipped it, there would be complaints as well on the other side. So I don't understand why he even thinks this way. But let me tell y'all, these are the only type of people they would let on ESPN, because real writers and real people of the culture, they won't give them a platform to say this kind of stuff and do this kind of stuff. You got the Jason Whitlocks, the Stephen A. Smiths, Marcellus Wiley, these the Acho brothers. You got these guys like this. These are the type of guys that they get on their platforms to represent us. These people aren't immersed in our culture. They can't speak for us. But I'm opening up the phone lines because I want y'all to call in and make sure y'all like and share the video. Y'all know YouTube, when we talk about subjects like this, YouTube is not gonna share this. YouTube ain't gonna push this video out there. When you talk about anything HBCU and black, they, you know what they do. They play the funny games with the video. So make sure y'all hit that like button and share the video. All right, hold on just a second. All right, y'all. The phone lines are open 657-390-4814. I want y'all to call in. Let me know what you think about this subject. I also want the detractors to call in. If you think that it's okay for HBCU culture to be embraced and showcased by people outside the culture, call in. Let me know why you think that. Make sure y'all hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate y'all. And I definitely want the guy to call in that was commenting earlier saying that I was saying that the culture should be sold and it's okay for the culture to be shared by everyone. Hold on just a second. Got a call coming in. What's going on, Carly? You live? Talk to me.
Hey, SWAC Bulls, how you doing this evening? This is Power 96, my brother.
What's going on, Power 96? Let me make sure people can hear you first. Can y'all hear him? Let me make sure they can hear you first. Let me know if y'all can hear him.
All right, testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
Yeah, they can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. All right, first of all, let's take Marcel Wiley. Okay, true, he's from Compton, California. Marcel Wiley and I are the same age. We're 48 years of age.
Uh-huh.
Marcellus Wiley left Compton, California, and went to college in where? Columbia. Okay? That's the college that he went to. Marcel Wiley, you got to remember, he was real close with Jason Whitlock. These are the same two people that criticized black people way before Deion Sanders started coaching at an HBCU.
Right.
What Marcel Wiley does not understand. What's that?
Now, I was saying they get paid to do it too. Jason Whitlock's whole platform is about downing black people and talking about black people. He's got a whole platform doing that. But go ahead.
Exactly. And see, but he does not understand. He went to a PWI. It was called PWI back in 1993 when I was going to college. Either you went to a HBCU or you went to a PWI. So he's trying to play crazy on that part. But what he does not understand, white people take black culture and make money off of it. Black people, our culture, we make money, but not like the corporate money that white people do. In Colorado, if you ever seen they band, they look like a bunch of fools dancing around, jumping around. So what good is it gonna really do to them to play Getting Ready or play Give Me My Theme music, besides them making them even look more stupid? But guess what? A corporate company will take them and make more money for them. Jackson State been playing Get Ready before I was born. You know how many corporate sponsors came to them and say, "Hey, we want to get this on a record, or we want to make a deal with them"? None. See, it's cultural appropriation. White schools have been doing this since integration. You got to go back to when Bear Bryant got his behind kicked by USC and sit there and start putting them black players on the team. You got to go back to when they was paying black players under the table. They've always been cultural appropriation. And then now you got these culture vultures now. And what I call culture vultures, they can be black and white. In my opinion, Deion Sanders is a culture vulture. He's showing us every day that he is willing to take black culture, black coaches, black players up to Colorado to, number one, put his brand up there, and number two, to take the culture and make it seem like a mockery to him. But as long as he's getting paid for it, you got to follow the dollars when it comes to these people. It's a joke to them. If those people care so much about black culture, do you realize that the University of Colorado just started having black Greek fraternities and sororities 3 years ago? Now that Colorado University been around since when? Over 100 years. Now you mean to tell me you just started having black fraternities and sororities? See, it's a game to them people. And we got to understand, whenever we get some type of culture that we can say that our own, look at the hip hop industry now.
Yeah. You
cannot tell me a black owned record label. And folks like, oh, he owned his own stuff, If that is the case, why these rappers fighting to get their masters back? I'm talking back from the 80s to now. These folks we don't own our stuff. We sell it for pennies on the dollars, or they buy from pennies on the dollars. I would not be surprised if Colorado does not hire a black band director within the next 2 or 3 years. LSU has done it. They took Jackson State, not a graduate from Jackson State. He's the band director over there. It's a game to these people, but the game for these people makes money, big money for these people.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't be surprised if that happened. What's crazy to me is how mad they get at HBCU folks for being mad at people taking their culture and not wanting to showcase them. Why can't you showcase the HBCUs doing their thing instead of showcasing a PWI doing what HBCUs do? You know, that's crazy.
And that's the part that I don't get. You go all the way back to Jim Crow. You know, Jim Crow started as a black man walking down the street right after the Civil War, selling watermelons, happy, freedom, making money. They took a black man's happiness, painted a white man's face, and had him jumping around acting silly. They make fun of us. They take our culture to poke the bear. And guess what happened? Jim Crow was so popular, it went around the world, making fun of black people. Colorado, Marcel Wallace, Jason Whitlock, Stephen A. Smith, it's a whole bunch of culture vultures and culture appropriation, and it goes back to a big corporate dollar. Stephen A. Smith, I guarantee you, they already HBCU jackets, this and that. You have not been back to that school, Stephen A. Smith. With the lie that you told on Coach Big House Gang, them people would not let you back in that gymnasium, and he knows that. Marcel Wallace, I guarantee you, the last time he seen some black people was probably at a family reunion 10 years ago. Jason Whitlock, trust me, that man, he sold his soul to the devil for a space heat in hell. That man does not care about how he destroys the black people. And when we realize it, Deion Sanders, you get in that same category. Because the first thing he'll say, well, HBCUs, we did something different, this and that. If you did so much different than HBCU, why the hell you leave? And by right, sir, you can leave and go where you want to go. Leave us alone. We don't want to deal with you, man. You came there, you left, now you're trying to take everything else. What you gonna take after the band? See what I'm saying? It just makes no sense to me that these people will get up there, and then when you call them out, they want to get mad because you're being called out. But just remember, nobody would give you a coaching job until Jackson State said, we'll give you a chance. Now, all of a sudden, Jackson State got to be the worst thing in the world. But you took the job, though, to get you another job. I don't get that, man. It makes no sense to me. Leave Deion Sanders, Deion fanboys, leave Jackson State and HBCUs alone. We moved on. Every week, you got to have something to say about HBCUs and Jackson State. Sir, we don't care. Go up to Lily White, Colorado, eat your mayonnaise with potato salad and raisins and your asparagus, and watch that band with them two left feet sit there try to play Getting Ready and dance, because it will be comical.
Hey, y'all, if y'all want to call it in, phone number, the phone lines are open, 657-390-4814. You want to call in. We're talking about video Marcellus Wiley did. If y'all just came in, we're talking about a video Marcellus Wiley did, talking about HBCU culture, talking about HBCU people shouldn't be mad that PWIs are want to take our culture. We should be flattered by it, that we're being imitated. We should be flattered and happy with it. I tend to disagree because I feel like mainstream media doesn't have a problem showcasing other people doing what we do, but they won't showcase us. You know, that's my problem. If ESPN and all these other platforms was showcasing HBCU culture like that, when it's done by us, I would be fine. But they don't do that. We'll see if College Game Day is going to come down to a SWAC game now that Deion is not at Jackson State anymore. Are y'all going to go out y'all way to showcase our culture now that we don't have Coach Prime at Jackson State anymore? No, you're not going to do that. But I guarantee you, if these other schools start taking from our culture, start having dance teams and doing all this kind of stuff, you're going to see it all over ESPN. They're going to prop up and they're going to promote that stuff. But let me get to this next call. Appreciate you calling. Thank you for calling Power 96.
All right, no problem, brother.
All right. What's going on, Caller? You live? Talk to me. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Y'all know, you know, when we talk about topics like this, YouTube is not gonna, they're not gonna promote it like that, because you know that's not the narrative. They want us to be out here acting a fool, being stupid and doing stuff like that. That's the videos they promote. They're not gonna promote real conversations. But come on, what's going on, Caller? You live? Talk to me. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm here. Talk to me.
I just wanted to say this. First and foremost, I'm not here to try to tell nobody how they should feel about nothing, because everybody has free right to feel how they feel about whatever it is that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this: I didn't listen to that Marcel Wiley person, because I just not a person I listen to at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say that I was on a show, listening to a show like this one last night from Coach Hayes, and he was playing some music from some bands, and it was, you know, it was the kind of music that you hear at HBCU. And then he said, the question was, who's playing that? What band is that? And come to find out, it was LSU, Florida State, and Miami.
Yeah.
So what that told me was that this ain't nothing new. This stuff has already been stolen. They've already been playing it. They've already been mimicking.
They watch our band videos and they mimic what we do. Like pretty much Southern. Go ahead. Well, I was gonna say Southern universities. Southern universities talking out the side of your neck. That's pretty much what LSU play now, and they got it from Southern University.
Right. So
go ahead.
Right. So we're having a conversation about this like this is something new. And Dion doing it, it's the first time it ever happened. That's my point. My point is this has been going on for a long time from a lot of bands. And then one caller mentioned that the LSU band director came from an HBCU. So you know if that's the case, you know when he went there, he took all that music and all that stuff with him. He took the culture with him. Let's just put it like that.
Yeah.
And thus LSU's band is mimicking
the
school that he left.
Let me say this.
This is not something that is new.
Let me say this.
Just happened yesterday.
Let me say this real quick. I'm not mad at Dion per se, because Dion gonna do what Dion. Dion, his whole purpose is his sons. Everything that he's doing is for his kids. It's for to get Shadur Shiloh and his kids to the NFL. Him going to Colorado is for Shadur to get in the Heisman conversation and Shiloh to get to the NFL. So I'm not really concerned about what Dion is doing, because I understand what he's doing. Even though he tried to say that, oh, I'm doing this because of this and this and this. No, he's doing it to get his sons to the NFL. I want to see how long Dion is going to coach after his sons leave college. I don't believe he's going to stay coaching that long after his sons leave college, because I feel like his purpose is his kids and his family. What my issue is, people like Marcellus Wiley getting mad with HBCU folks for us defending ourselves. HBCU people aren't going out here looking for trouble, aren't going out here talking about people. These people are sitting here making videos on mainstream television talking about HBCU alumni don't donate, HBCU alumni mad at Dion because such and such. Y'all should have been proud that he was there. Y'all should have been happy he came down to y'all school and being at y'all school. They sit there and disrespect HBCU folks on mainstream media all the time, and then you got something to say when people from that culture say something back. It's crazy to me, but go ahead.
I feel that again. I don't listen to Wiley, whoever he is. I don't listen to him, so I'm not sure what he said. But I want to say one thing that kind of, speaking of just feeling how you feel about something, and keeping culture, if you will. HBCUs, historically black colleges, historically black people, HBCUs, historically black colored people intact. one of the things that we can fuss and fight about all this different stuff and what they doing and what they feeling, they being people, of course, other races than us. But then we have a lot of please forgive me for this, because this may not be you, but then we have a lot of our brothers that going out and date white women or going out and getting women of other races. So, the culture spread, and no matter what. So that's more irritating than me than some Power 5 school stealing a song. If you want to know the truth, if you really want to talk about culture, black families are going to get much lighter. I'm talking about 100% black families, because a lot of it is because of that. More so than somebody playing a song.
Well, that's a whole nother can of worms right there.
Yeah, I know.
That's over the whole other can of worms.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop right there because I don't want to do that. But I'm just making a comment that if we're gonna talk about culture and how we keep our culture intact, like you said, that's a conversation for a whole other day. So I'm stopping right there. But I'm just saying, we talk about culture and how we want to keep culture intact. Let's talk about something a little bit more deeper than somebody taking our song and playing it. Because they can get on the YouTube and find the song and copy it and play that, and then
it's not really about the song. It's not really about the song for me though. It's not really about the song for me. The song is just that's just the start of it. If you let all these other institutions imitate everything your schools are doing, HBCU culture is what we have over them. That's our leg up over them. That's the reason why our kids come to our schools, is because of the culture. They're not going to get that culture at a PWI. But once you start letting your culture, once these schools start being okay just taking what they want from us, then that's going to hurt HBCUs at the end of the day. That's what I'm saying. So you're for the culture being anybody just coming in, taking what they want and doing what they want with the culture.
I'm not going to sit up here and say that I'm necessarily for it. Let me say this. I have a nephew that I just love to the moon and back. Okay. And when he got ready to go to college, I wanted him to go to Morehouse so bad it wouldn't be funny, because I'm a Spelman girl. So I just wanted him to go. I got a niece that's a Spelman girl. So I wanted him to go to a HBCU, specifically to Morehouse, where he ended up picking Georgia. Okay. Am I still a little salty about it? Yep. Honestly, I am. But at the end of the day, he's graduated now. He's gone. He's married, got children. He done moved on with his life. And it's like, okay, just get the hell over it type of thing. And he loved me and respect me. And ain't too many things he wouldn't do for his auntie, because I'm his favorite woman, But that was one of those things where he made his own choice. Whether his parents liked it or not, whether I liked it or not, anybody else for that matter, he made his own choice. Even his pastor, people that you really listen to. So, didn't like it, but, even though I had nothing against Georgia, I just kind of wanted them to go to an HBCU. So I'm not sitting up here saying that them taking stuff from us. I mean, like I said before, we're not going to go down that rabbit hole. But like I said before, it's a whole lot of stuff I don't like that our other sisters and brothers take from us. Okay, whole lot. That we can talk about that all night. But like I say, it's some stuff for me. To your point, I hear your point about it's deeper than a song. But for me, it's definitely a deeper conversation than them being able to go on YouTube, even if we don't send no HBCU band director to them, okay, to teach it to them and figuring it out on their own and doing it. And unfortunately, it's something that can't be stopped. So if it can't be stopped, then we need to maybe concentrate on the stuff that we can keep our culture intact, that we can control.
All right. Well, thank you.
That's my only point about it.
All right. Thank you for the call. Let me get to the next caller. All right. Thank you for calling. All right. All right. Let me get to the next caller. What's going on, caller? You live? Talk to me.
Hey, what's up, Buzz? This is KJ.
Hey, KJ.
I just wanted to kind of correct a mistaken assumption, and I don't mean this to be offensive to my non-HBCU people, but it needs to be said. Y'all have got to stop saying that Deion Sanders is the culture, and therefore he can do whatever he wants to do with parts of our culture, and it's not, appropriation. Like, first of all, Deion is not HBCU culture. I think you all get it confused because you say we're all Black people. We all have a part of this. No, you don't. You actually don't. I'm sorry. Yes, you are all Black. However, HBCU culture is a subset of Black culture. You all didn't contribute to building it. You don't care about it. You only come around, honestly, when we have something detrimental going on. You don't help us lobby our legislatures for funding. You don't help the students at HBCUs. You don't do anything.
Preach.
That's why we don't care about your opinion about what we do to protect HBCU culture. Something that we and a lot of our family lineage is attached to this too. I know mine is. It's deep within my family for generations. Don't confuse what is Black culture and what is a subset of Black culture. It's like you coming into somebody's house and decide, well, hey, I should have a piece of this. No, you should not. You should sit down, be quiet, wipe your feet off, and be happy to be here and engage in the space. Stop saying that ignorance, though. And Hollywood, dude, shut the hell up. You are in every single chat where anyone says anything pertaining to this Dion situation. I hope it pays well.
I want him to call in.
I really hope it pays well.
Call in, Hollywood. I want him to call in.
Everybody else simple-minded. I guarantee you that most of the people in this chat that went to HBCUs are doing better in life than you, including me, you dumbass. Shut up. Anyway, good night.
All right, thank you for the call, KJ. Hollywood, call up. I want you to call up and tell us why you feel the way you feel. I give you the floor. I will give you the floor, Hollywood. Please call up. Hollywood working tonight. And trust me, this thing is not all about Dion, because honestly, I'm over the Dion thing. I'm over it. Like, y'all don't really see me make videos on it or anything like that. Like, I'm pretty much over it. You know, I can't wait for the season to start so we can actually, HBCUs and SWAC can actually really, really move on. Of course, we're going to keep up with what Dion is doing and what Shadur is doing to, you know, see what our guys coming from the Jackson State are doing at a Power 5 level. But honestly, I mean, I'm over it, honestly. I'm just ready for the season to start. But when I see on TV and on mainstream media, when these guys just attacking HBCUs, like it's became okay for these guys to sit on mainstream TV and to attack HBCUs, talk about our alumni, say that we not giving back to our schools, talking about we should be happy Dion came to our school, we didn't have nothing to offer him, and all this other kind of stuff. And I want to shout out the Pivot podcast, because a lot of people that interview Deion Sanders, they fan out when they interview him and they suck up to him because, you know, he's pretty much football royalty. And so they'll suck up to him. But Ryan Clark asked him some hard questions. And if you haven't seen that interview, I would like for you all to go watch the Pivot podcast interview that they did, because they asked some questions, some hard questions that most people wouldn't have asked him, you know, and they challenged him about all the things that, you know, that all the concerns that we've had. But y'all know Dion has the mouth. He's gifted. He is gifted, so he can talk himself out of a hostage situation. Like, Dion knows how to talk, so he was able to flip it and make it sound good. But they did ask him the questions that most of us would want to ask. But the phone lines are open, y'all. Make sure y'all hit that phone line 657-390-4814. Make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if y'all haven't subscribed yet. What podcast? The Pivot. It's called The Pivot. And then he turned around and said we should be grateful in his comments. I can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait for the season to begin too. Yeah, it's called The Pivot Podcast. Yeah, those guys been making videos for a while. They've been doing great work. They interview old athletes and stuff like that. They broke off from I Am Athlete. They were on the I Am Athlete platform, and then they broke off from them and started their own show. But they're doing great work. Phone lines are open 657-390-4814. I wasn't going to do a long video tonight. I just kind of want to play that and get y'all opinion on it, because, man, it's crazy to me that it just seems like all the mainstream media are kind of piling on HBCUs and talking crazy about HBCUs since Dion left. You know, it was like when Dion left, it was like, okay, we can talk bad about him now. We can go in on him now. And these people are on mainstream television just talking about our alumni, saying that we don't give back. And it's just, they would never do that with any other institutions. They would never do that. He has chosen to use his gift this way. I know this. If Deion isn't successful at Colorado, you probably are going to get no sleep because we will return the favorite with all this talking. Yeah, they got to win. They got to win. They definitely got to win. And honestly, I hope Shadur and Travis, I hope they all do well at Colorado. You know, I honestly do, because that's going to make our schools look good, because once you go to Jackson State and go to HBCU, we're forever going to be tied to those players. So if they do well, that'll be good for our schools as well. TCU going to rip them up first game. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a given there. Yeah, TCU they're going to tear into them. But yeah, the phone lines are open, 657-390-4814. And if you're watching via replay, make sure y'all hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. He better win. That's all I'm going to say, because Black Twitter is going crazy. Right. But yeah, so let me bounce this idea off y'all. So I'm gonna make a schedule for the season where I'm gonna be going live a lot more, y'all. What do y'all think about a day where I set aside a day during the week where we just talk about anything? It's like a ask me anything type day. What do y'all think about that? Would y'all like something like that, to where, you know, we could just talk about what's going on in the media, in the news, or whatever? Would y'all like something like that to be coupled in with the SWAC shows? I want to bounce that off y'all, because I'm thinking about, when I make my schedule for the season, I'm thinking about like have one day set aside to where we talk about whatever. I'm thinking about we have one day where we talk about whatever, one day where we do an interview. I'm thinking about, you know, getting things together like that, so I can have a lot more structure to the platform. Win, lose, or draw, I am still talking about that, Coach. I got y'all, man. I got y'all. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here quickly and talk to y'all. We weren't gonna do a long show tonight. But I appreciate y'all tuning in to the channel. Y'all know I love coming on here, fellowshipping and chopping it up with y'all, man. So I gotta the next time I probably come on this weekend sometime. Hopefully something happens that we can really dialogue and talk about. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet, and share the video, because you know, when we talk about stuff like this, we talk about the culture, we talk about HBCU culture. YouTube, they don't really like to promote stuff like that. So you know we have to do a lot to get this kind of information out there. But I'm gonna always make content like this. I always make content like this because it's important. Let me get some of these calls on. Hold on, y'all. What's going on, caller? You live? Talk to me.
Hey, how are you guys? Just wanted to chime in. I'm caught the end of the conversation, but I just wanted to add this perspective as a parent.
Go ahead.
So as a parent, I went to a PW. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. Go ahead.
As a parent, I went to a PWI, and as my child graduated from when she went to HBCU, and I'm so happy she did. And oftentimes, some of our kids across the country aren't privy to being in an all-Black institution and really learning the culture, especially if you have your kids in private school. And I just think that HBCUs are something that we should respect and revere. And also, our kids are getting a chance to shine and excel, not just on the football field, the basketball field, but also in the classroom. And they're also being around other students at a high level as well. All of our doctors, all of our engineers, Black engineers, they come from HBCUs.
Right.
Even our vice president. I think we should really take heed to that and not play with it. And I think that we've gotten so comfortable with, even though I don't use the N-word, we have gotten so comfortable with letting people say the N-word. Now we're moving over to our history, and we're gonna sell everything off. We have to keep something that in-house. If you want to hear that type of music, you need to go to that type of school. You need to come to the homecomings and the football games and support, and not just sell off everything. And then years later, you're gonna go, we ain't got no credit because you're giving everything away. There's a reason why our kids need to excel and feel comfortable, and they shouldn't feel ashamed, and they should be able to stand out.
Well, they taking
that's what they
taking the history too. The history is going away. They trying to get rid of that.
Yeah, and that's listen, and they already trying to get rid of that. And what happens? Why do they want it? Why do they want it so bad now? It's been there. They see how comfortable it's empowered our kids. They say, you know what? Funk it. I'm not gonna go to a PWI. If I can, and it's free and it's more cost effective, parents have to make the best decision. But at the same time, I can tell you, I set my child one way. She graduated from Howard, and she's a totally different person, not just intellectually, but how she thinks, how she perceives things. She's wise, and she's been around. She's had so many opportunities of different people coming back. I mean, I just think that the kids really excel. Either way they're going to succeed. But after they leave school, it's when they go to the business world, how they're going to be responded in business, how you looked at companies. Sometimes you're the only one. You're going to get to go to a little utopia for a little while, and then use those skills that you gained and those friendships and that can't be duplicated. You know, I wish Dion the best, but like I'm sorry, you divorced now, you're gone. You come back and visit, but he did not build the culture. There are so many other people that are the diaspora is so big, and I just really don't want us to sell off everything. And especially when you're not doing it out of flattery, because they're gonna turn around and it's gonna become a joke.
Yeah. And I one thing Ryan Clark asked him that was so important, or so I like this question. He asked him, he said, there's only one you, Dion. Like, why when you seen that you had a college game day, you had all these platforms coming down to Jackson State, why leave that when you were just getting things started? And I want people to understand when college game day came to Jackson State, that's when everybody antennas went up. They was like, hold up now. He got college game day to come to a HBCU game. It was time to get him up out of HBCU culture at that point. They was like, no, we got to get him up out of there, because he was making too many moves. That move was powerful. That
Can I just say something?
Go ahead.
I've heard you speak on other platforms as well, and I really appreciate it. And I know I'm going to date myself by saying this, but this is a fact. So back in the day, the only person we had nighttime for entertainment was Arsenio Hall.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody had to come through his door in order to be seen. Once they got the prescription, they got the setup, they saw how they do. They have so many nighttime shows right now, nightly shows, whatever you call it. There are no black actors or actresses hosting a show. The last one they had was Monique a couple of years ago.
Right.
So it's like every time we give you the blueprint, then you take it and you duplicate it. They on every single major channel. So it's not that we can't be done. It's not that what we're doing. It's like, but just look what you have before you settle all off.
Right. Well, let me get to this next caller. Thank you for calling.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
All right. Caller 504. What's going on, caller 504? Talk to me.
Yeah, how you doing, man?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm calling from New Orleans, and I got a couple of questions to talk about some of the stuff that you're talking about tonight with Dion and Jackson State.
Go ahead.
I know, I think KJ, I think her name, she called in earlier and said Dion Sanders wasn't culture or HBCU culture. It's a difference, right? But
speak on it.
Do we remember when Dion first got the NFL? He was unapologetically black. he brought every part of black culture to the NFL. Does everybody remember that?
Yeah, we remember.
I mean, he did it for years. So as the guy got older and he succeeded in professional life, then went back to be a coach from Little League and made his way back up to Power 5. How come all that is, I mean, I don't know, just trying to say that all his culture is gone. And he's, bringing in more black players, not only to JSU, but now to Colorado. So that's one thing. Like, I don't understand why they are that mad. They say, man, I have no culture in them. And it's kind of funny to me.
Well, let me respond. Let me respond to that. So, would you say the things that have been said since Coach Prime has left Jackson State has been favorable for HBCUs and for Jackson State?
I mean, I guess it's the side of the street you're looking at it from. I'm not saying he said everything perfectly. I mean, if Jackson State University wanted him to just say, hey, Jackson State was the best school in the nation. I'm so happy they allowed me to be a coach at JSU because nobody else wanted me, which is a lie. I want you to know that, but nobody else would accept him.
So,
not even his own school. Those ADs or those ADs have different approach they wanted to take, except Deion's. So yes, the AD from JSU offered him a job. He took it for 3 years. Oh, it's 2 at first, but he said he gave him 3. That's what he said in his video. So no, I don't think everything he said was. I mean, he's not talking about the people of Jackson. He's not talking about the students in Jackson. He's not even talking about alumni. It's all the fans are talking about this stuff, which making it bad on him because he's the figurehead, right? But the administration office didn't come out and say anything against Deion. And I don't remember Deion saying something so traumatic about Jackson State University, which he helped bring back to the limelight. So I hope that answers your question.
Not really, but let me ask you. Let me ask you this.
Not really. So what you want me to say? He talking about Jackson State real bad?
No, what I'm saying is a lot of the stuff that's been said about Jackson State and about HBCUs is unnecessary. Like you going on a pivot you going on a pivot podcast like you did the other day, and trust me, I was a fan of Coach Prime. So I was a big fan. I was a big fan. I am still a fan of Coach Prime, but at the same time, I could be a fan of him and critique some of the things that he's done. Like so, when you go on the Pivot Podcast and say that the ideologies of HBCU people, our mentalities are broken, and say that our ideologies is messed up, we weren't ready to go and move like you wanted to move. There's no point of saying that right now because you're gone. There is no reason to say that. Only thing that you can do by saying stuff like that is hurt the institution. You cannot help the institution by saying stuff like that. You have a coaching tree at Jackson State right now. You got TC Taylor. You got Coach O. People that were on your staff still at Jackson State, still trying to keep this train moving. What is the point of saying stuff like that? That's not going to do anything but hurt your guys that's still at that school, still trying to keep the culture that you put in place, keep it going and keep winning. You're making it hard for them when you do stuff like that. That's the problem I got. I feel like some of the stuff is unnecessary.
Okay, do you think Deion Sanders is going to talk badly about TC Taylor and what he actually? I mean, everybody have a different opinion about it, but the guy was on in the locker room and presented TC Taylor as the next head coach of Jackson State University with the AD.
See,
now I don't think Deion's talking about the team. I don't think he's talking about it.
When you talk,
I don't think about the students.
If you're talking bad about,
he's talking about the administration. He's talking about the administration. You guys know that.
That's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt the school.
Why are you trying to make?
That's gonna hurt the school.
You guys are trying to make. But so you telling me Deion Sanders wasn't hurt by the school at all?
My thing is, even if you were hurt by the school,
let me ask the question: do you think Deion Sanders was hurt by the school at all?
I don't think so. I honestly don't think so. I feel like
Jackson administration of school did Deion right. The whole from what he did, you think the school did him right?
Made him the highest paid coach in FCS football. Gave him whatever he wanted, and whatever was in their power, whatever he wanted. They treated him like a king on campus. Now, don't get it twisted. Jackson State folks treated him like a king. They treat his family like royalty. So no, I don't. Okay. And the administration did give him everything. They didn't. He wanted to change conference. So he wanted to change conferences. They weren't ready to do that. Pretty much. That's the gist that I get from watching the interviews and stuff like that. He wanted to move Jackson State out of the conference, and they weren't ready to do that yet. They weren't ready to move like that. That's what I'm thinking happened. So you can't fault them for that, though. You can't fault them for that.
Okay,
because go ahead.
You fault Deion for wanting to leave because they couldn't do what he was aspiring to do for the school. Because you can't say he didn't put his heart and soul in that school.
Nobody said.
Well, you saying the administration did everything they could do, and I'm just saying is Deion did everything he was expected to do and overachieved it. But yeah, the $300,000 the highest paid. Yeah, okay, but you guys know Deion wake up, he goes to sleep and wake up making $300,000 because who he is. But the thing is, he had to win, and he did that. He did that. He brought revenue to the city as well. I'm not a primate, but what I'm telling you is, I think we're everybody that's these talking heads are talking, but it's not coming. All the talk is not coming directly from Deion or the administration. If you as a coach go to GSU and brought prosperity back by winning 2 SWAC championships back-to-back, 2 undefeated seasons, right? Of course, okay, you lose the Celebration Bowl, but Jackson State wasn't even thought about being in the Celebration Bowl prior to that. But you do all of that, right? So either you're going to ask for a raise or you're going to ask for other things, some other incentives, right? You're just going to keep doing that same job, and you fulfill your contract because this contract is up. So if you're looking for another contract, offer you the things that you said you were going to do, you did, and you bring up the new contract you might want and the money that you want to make. If the school cannot do that, what are you going to do? Stay there and continue to do all that and bring all that stuff you bought to JSU for the same price for another 3 or 4 years? Is that what you're going to do?
No, nobody said he was wrong for leaving. I don't understand why y'all think that HBCU people are saying that he was wrong for leaving. Nobody's saying that.
I said the administration. I said HBCU. I said the administration.
Even the administration.
Jackson State administration.
Do you see Jackson State administration going out talking about Coach Prime? I haven't seen not one person from the administration say anything about Coach Prime.
I said that's the first thing I said on your line.
Yeah.
Jackson State administration and Deion has not said anything bad about each other.
So Coach Prime.
But everybody else is talking.
Coach Prime continues to talk about the administration and talk about the things that he wasn't given to there on these interviews. Do you see Lincoln Riley? Do you see Lincoln Riley talk about Oklahoma?
They're not an HBCU school.
It don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter what school they is. It don't matter.
Yes, it does matter.
Yes,
it doesn't matter because we expect a lot from our people. That's the difference. We expect a whole lot from our people, especially if you win and you bring your money, you bring your notoriety. You just can't walk away. We ain't gonna let you go away like that. You know that as well as I do.
What I'm saying is, if Lincoln Riley, you think Lincoln Riley just had peaches and roses at Oklahoma? No, he didn't. Even though they got a lot of money, he wouldn't have left Oklahoma for USC if everything was going perfect. He wouldn't have.
I don't understand the correlation between white PWI. If y'all hate PWIs, but y'all keep referring back to these PWIs.
I'm not. No.
We're talking about black coaches and black schools.
No. What I'm saying is Lincoln Riley, the way he left is the way coaches are supposed to leave a school. When you leave a school, you're not supposed to continue to talk bad about that school. You're supposed to be professional and move on with your life. That's what people were expecting Coach Prime to do. So Jackson State can move on. When you move on to Colorado, you move on. You go do your thing. Jackson State moves on and do their thing. Nobody, the administrators is not talking about Deion Sanders. He shouldn't be talking about Jackson State. That's all we're saying. That's all people are saying.
So okay, last thing, Lane said, I know other people probably wait, man, but I want to just get this point across. You're saying that all that the Deion did at JSU, he has no right to say anything about Jackson State. All the stuff he endured since his foot to the championship, he has no right to say anything that he found strange at the school that he was around for almost 3 seasons of football. He has no right to talk about anything he had to deal with at all.
Nobody's saying that he doesn't have a
So
right.
Hold
on. You can't keep cutting. You can't keep cutting me off when I'm telling you, when I'm trying to tell you what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. I apologize, man. I apologize. I'll be
so
go ahead.
What I'm saying is, when he speaks about Jackson State, if it's not favorable, if it's not gonna put the school in I would say a good light, and I'm not saying that he's supposed to only put the school in a good light, but what I'm saying is, if you're gonna talk negative and there's no point of doing it, why do it? Just leave it alone. If you're not gonna say anything that's gonna boost the morale of that school and put that school in a good light, don't say it. You still got your coaching tree down at Jackson State. You still got TC Taylor and Coach O down at Jackson State. They still have to get kids in that school and keep that thing rolling. So you saying little negative things about the school, that's going to hurt their chances of recruiting and things like that. So that's what I'm saying. If it's not worth it, why do it?
So you're saying Coach Prime is saying damaging the school's name by not directly telling folks or students or anyone, hey, don't go to JSU. Is he saying things like that? Or are you talking about what the administrative problems he had at the school, monetarily, business-wise, and so on?
It's the same thing.
And I don't know why. And I'll leave you with this, bro. I know we're on two different sides of the street. You're gonna see it your way, and I'm gonna see it the other way. But the last thing I just heard is, Black Twitter is waiting for Coach Prime to lose. How about is everybody waiting for JSU to lose? Y'all keep talking about Prime. Yeah, it's like everybody's on their tippy toes. The moment he lose, Black Twitter gonna be all over him. What if JSU? Because they got more than half the games are on the road this year. So what if JSU loses? Then what? Is Black Twitter going to be ready for them to? You going to talk about them too?
I think.
Or they're going to be making excuses because the Prime thing is.
Go ahead. Well, I think people are saying that they are ready for him to lose. It's because of the way he left. He left in a way where I'm throwing it in y'all face. Look at what I got. Look at where I'm at. I'm throwing it in your face. And so those people that felt slighted like that, they want him to fail. They want him to lose. So
that first black coach in the Power 5 school, our community, Jackson State, want this man to lose because he left 2 championships.
First of all,
he had a little bit to say about what he was going through.
First of all, there are some people, road people out there that may want him to lose, but you can't say Jackson State people want him to lose, because Jackson State people are appreciative of what he did at Jackson State. Jackson State people are still fans of Deion Sanders. But when you go on these platforms, you say stuff like the broken mentalities and stuff like that, you already know the stereotypes America have of black people anyway. So to go on these mainstream platforms talking about black people at these HBCUs have broken mentalities, that's a bad message to send. That's all I'm saying. You can't do stuff like that. There's no point of doing stuff like that. You're going to do more harm than good doing that. Just don't do it. If you're not gonna say anything positive, just keep it rolling. All he has to do is say, well, I appreciate Jackson State for giving me the opportunity, but I'm on to Colorado, and that's where we at now. I'm not really talking about Jackson State anymore. That's it. That's all you got to do.
So when they get interviewed, when they pose a question to him about Jackson State, so that's what you want him to say.
I would like him to start talking about Jackson State.
Because if he does, like earlier, like you said earlier, if the guy's giving him tough questions and he evades those questions, Black Twitter gonna be like, see, he's not even answering the damn question, right? But when he answers questions on how he feels, then that's what we're looking for. We're looking for cracks so we can get on our pods and say, listen, this ain't answering these questions. He's trying to dodge these questions. So I'm just confused about a lot of stuff, man. I'm sorry Jackson State and Coach Prime is going through this, because all the success they had together, it should have been parades and everything else, and all the stuff that happened in Jackson State and Coach Prime and all the stuff he brought to the city of Jackson, Mississippi.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you one question before I let you go. Do you think if he have issues at Colorado, do you think he's going to go on all these mainstream platforms and talk bad about Colorado? I'll let you in on that.
Prime. I don't think Prime don't have a problem talking his mind wherever he is. He's been doing that for years. If Colorado do him wrong or didn't follow something they think would work, he's going to tell people that, like he's saying now. If he has a problem with the administration, AD, whomever, who's stopping his progression, I don't think anyone can hold something in that they feel. You can't ask a person to hold in your feelings. Hold in what you think. I know you probably think you was done wrong, but hold your feelings and just say good things about us. So yes, I do think he would still be who he is and tell people what he feels.
All right. Well, thank you for the call.
That's my worry about the thing.
All right. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. I believe if Colorado does something crazy, he's gonna watch what he say about Colorado. I don't think he's gonna go out his way on mainstream media platforms to say, to talk bad about the school. Let's see who got calling. What's going on, Carly? Live, talk to me.
What's going on, Sweat Buzz, man? Thank you for taking my call, and man, I really enjoyed your platform and how you stood on it. A lot of Sweat Buzz. We need to start asking these people, man, when they call in before, because you remember at one point in time when I called in before, man, you used to say, like, where are these people coming from? We need to start asking these people. First of all, are you an HBCU alumnus? And also, are you some type of booster or donator? Because they got so much to say and talk about what Black Twitter and all this going to say, just coming out the woodworks. Because like I said, how he was talking, he did not sound like an alumnus of a prestigious HBCU. So we need to start talking about that as well. And also, man, I wanted to say this. That lie that people need to keep saying, they need to correct this. Deion is not the first coach to go to a Power 5 from an HBCU. That's a lie. Coach Pugh at South Carolina State had two coaches who are the active Power 5 coaches on his coaching staff at an HBCU. Florida head coach is South Carolina State offense coordinator, and the defensive coordinator from South Carolina State at that time as well is a head coach at Virginia. Right now, the University of Virginia in Lynchburg. Those are two coaches. There was a Power 5. Also, Jay Hobson, that was from Alcorn. He was a school at a FBS at Southern Miss. So he's not the first. So they be telling this lie that basically adds bloviate a platform. And also, like to say about these lies about recruiting and all this stuff that Deion was saying. And like I said, it's we got to understand about him. It's the best of both worlds. It's like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. It's just like you say, it's just like you get half and half. And sometimes I feel like we expect something from somebody who don't know the rules. He don't know the rules because he wasn't an alumnus. He did great. He did awesome. But there's the other thing about, when you get some, it's just like, I give you a prime example. It's like one of these medicines that we see on TV. We all know that it's for to cure something, but right after they say what it cures, what's the next thing they say, Sway Buzz, it has side effects. And that's what Deion is. He got side effects, so basically, even though he helped us, he got side effects. And some of this is what's going on, the side effects, what he's doing, lying about how to recruitment and all this stuff. And then he coming out being one of the coaches of and then, like I said, you talking about how you recruiting players, but you didn't do that with your son. And, just certain things about, you trying to call yourself, trying to get the band and have an HBCU feel and all this stuff. It's like, dude, are you pandering? what are you doing? But like I say, it's best of both worlds. Because as much as he helped, as much as it seemed like he hurting as well, but he don't know the rules because he wasn't originally one of ours. But we did need him in the other part. But like I said, SWAC, I appreciate how you took your stand and the platform that you letting people know. Because like you said, I don't believe it at all either. He gonna watch his mouth and watch his tone because that's where he came from and that's where he got his first and original platform from. He know how to act in it accordingly. But thanks, Sweat Buzz, for taking my call.
All right, thanks for the call. Yeah, and I make no bones about it. I do not hate Coach Prime, or I do not dislike Coach Prime or anything like that. I'm a fan of Coach Prime. I'm a fan of Deion Sanders. I was a big fan of Deion Sanders, but I could be a fan of someone and critique them as well, and let it be known how I feel about something they did wrong. Because one thing about guys like Deion Sanders, they have a lot of yes men around them. If I was around Deion Sanders, I would told him, "Hey man, the way you doing that's not cool. Just leave it alone." When they try to egg you on about Jackson State, or you listening to these rogue fans out here that you don't even know, these rogue profiles, these rogue Twitter profiles talking crazy to you, don't feed into it. You still got TC Taylor and Coach O down there trying to do their thing. Don't make it hard for them. That's what I would have said. But let me get to the next call. Hold on. What's going on, Coach? What's going on? Caller, you live. Talk to me.
What's up with you, my brother? What's going on with you, my brother? Everything good?
Yeah, everything good. How you doing?
Man, I'm sitting here shaking my head, laughing at all this madness going on for the past, what?
Oh, this Coach Walker. Okay. Y'all, this is Tomorrow Leader Sports Network.
Hey, man. I'm listening to the two callers back, and like the last gentleman just said, they have to start asking questions, man. Where these folks coming from?
Yeah.
I get there's a lot of people out there that want to take up for him. Heck, I'll be the first one to say I did it for him when he was at Jackson State many times, where it left a little pause for you to wonder if he was really on that bull jump or was he playing straight up. And as the dominoes begin to fall and we begin to see more and more what was going on, it's like now you're looking at everything from the standpoint of like, wait a minute, brother, you wasn't true to us off the rip. And I'll say this, if you pay close attention, you saw they took the I Am Athlete season 2. They took all of that offline.
Oh.
Season 2 was the season he went on there and talked. He was interviewed.
Hold on. So they took the Jackson State interview off?
That sucker is gone, brother.
Oh, snap. Wow.
So if you didn't snip it,
wow,
and put it on your PC, it's gone. And see, what really got me was this dude backtracked on a lot of stuff that he said. And it was like I was waiting on Channing Crowder to really just dig in and ask the questions that I knew he had been wanting to ask for the longest. And of course, the one thing came up was the resources. And if you remember the first interview that he did, I do have a snippet of that, by the way, where he was talking about, we don't need the resources. Matter of fact, it wasn't a snippet from the interview. It was a tweet that he put out. It was either a tweet or Instagram post he put out with the music in the background. And he was doing all this talking about, come on down here. We don't need, we fine with what we got. We make do with what we got to, make do with this, that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting here like, wait a minute. But now you want to dog out the resources. Then you come back and say the crossroad. Well, my question is, when you say they wouldn't meet you at the crossroad, what was the crossroad, Coach? What was that crossroad that they wouldn't meet you at?
Mm.
Because, see, one thing everybody fails to understand, just like the last caller just said, he didn't come from this culture, so he doesn't understand. And yeah, there's a lot of people out here say, well, HBCU, they have backwards thinking when it comes to business. And that's not always so. Is there some folks out there that's a little slow as far as with doing things in a manner which is decent and in order? Of course it is. We saw that with the Bethune-Cookman situation. But I'm not going to get on that. You're talking about Deion Sanders right now, so I'm going to stick with him. This is the thing. When you look at everything that this man has said since he left. And it's been a direct shot every time. It's always been some shot back at Jackson State. Those that pay attention to everything that's going on, they see what's being said. So they sit there like, wait a minute, why is this man coming at us like this? Okay, you're gone. We understand you're gone. We don't like the fact that you're gone, but move on. There's I mentioned in the previous video, everybody wanted to get upset with me, oh, coach, you're being a hater. Why are you hating on Deion Sanders? I understand there's a lot of people out there that are Deion Sanders fans. They love this man for what he did on the football field, as well as on that baseball diamond, as well as him playing for Florida State.
We all were.
All of that.
We all were.
Right. At the end of the day, he's still a man. He's still a man.
Yeah,
I have faults, just like you have faults. We all got faults.
Yeah, I don't like that they say that we can't critique something he's doing because he's a celebrity and because we're a fan of him. Like, I critique anybody I like. If they do something wrong, I'm going to critique what they did wrong. You know, I can be a fan of Deion Sanders and not like something he did. You know, like I would tell him to his face. I would tell him to his face, I don't like the way you left Jackson State. I don't like the way you did it going out the door. I don't like the little shots and stuff that's been said in interviews. I think you could go on without doing that. You don't have to do that. You are a celebrity. You are a powerful voice. You don't have to do that to get views. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to get views anyway. So you don't have to crap on Jackson State to go viral or to get views. You can say anything and talk about anything.
It wasn't about the views.
Yeah.
It wasn't about the views. It wasn't about the views. You know what it was about?
What?
Ryan, you just mentioned it. Ryan said it to him. If you had all of these things working in your favor and everything was moving in the manner in which you wanted to move, why would you leave? You're just, like you said, you're just one Deion Sanders. The thing is, he's in a spot now where they're making him walk back everything that he said he was looking to do for HBCUs. They're making him walk that back now, bro. Think about it.
Yeah.
If you're going to sit up here and talk bad about Jackson State, automatically everybody's sitting there looking like, okay, some people might have some forward thinking where they're thinking a little bit outside the box. Is he talking about all of us? Or is he just upset with them about something? But then when you have that quiet time, you sit down and you might want to replay that conversation in your mind. Your mind might go in a different direction. Like, wait a minute, this dude is what is he really trying to say?
Yeah, man.
Because again, he said out of his mouth, this part I do remember about that first interview on I Am Athlete. He said, I want to make sure HBCUs are on TV every week. Okay. You want to make sure we level the playing field. Okay. So now what are you doing?
And people
are running that same playbook that you ran originally, and now you try to force it back the other way.
And
go ahead, dog.
And people are mad. And people are mad at him because the way you came in speaking and the way you are speaking now, the unnecessary shots at Jackson State in the interview. And like I said, all he has to do is just not talk about Jackson State. That's all he has to do. Not talk about Jackson State in a negative manner. That's all. If I'm doing an interview about Jackson State, I would just say, hey, yeah, man, I enjoyed my time there. I enjoyed the people that had me there. We did good. We won at Jackson State. And, that's all I have to say. I enjoyed my time there, and I enjoyed that Jackson State gave me the opportunity to be a coach, and now they propelled me on to another level. And so I'm here to dominate this level now. That's all you got to say. You don't have to come back and say, oh, well, this happened, the mentalities, the broken mentalities and all this other kind of stuff. And that's where Ed Reed got that stuff from. You see where he got it from. Talking about broken mentalities.
Yeah, right. Ed Reed, and that's another thing too. I don't believe when he said that he had head coach TC Taylor in the best interest of being the head coach. I don't think that was accurate as far as what Ed Reed said. Because if Ed Reed can sit there and say, well, I talked to Prime pretty much told me I had the gig. Wait, whoa. Prime ain't the daggone AD. How he gonna hire you?
Coach,
I'm confused.
Coach, I appreciate the call. Let me get to the next caller. I appreciate the call, Coach. All right, we'll talk later. All right. So, Jonathan White, I'm gonna get to you, caller 414. I'm about to get to you right now. Jonathan White, you said all you vloggers are making money off this man content, and that's facts. What money we making? Who making money besides well-off media talking about Coach Prime? Ain't nobody making no money like that on YouTube talking about Coach Prime. Besides well-off media and the pregame show, if that, ain't nobody making money like that. I think y'all think y'all think we get paid a lot of money on YouTube. We don't. YouTube don't pay that much. I don't know why y'all thinking the only people getting paid some big money on YouTube is well-off media, people that's doing 100K views on their videos. Those are the people making money. Ain't no people are talking about this because they want to talk about this. People not talking about this stuff for money. Stop that nonsense. All right, let me go to the next call. What's going on, caller? You live, talk to me.
Hey, young man, look here. First of all, let me slow down. This is old school. Hey, look, you got it wrong. You doing a whole lot better than you was doing before when you was doing JSU stuff. So don't sit up there and make it seem like you suffering because all you doing is just talking about Dion and not JSU. Listen to me, young man. You keep on fooling people like that. You and them others. As good as he go do, y'all just go sticky more and more. When is y'all gonna stop sticking that, man? When is y'all gonna take care of y'all business? You bloggers. Y'all crooks like that too, because y'all still in hand over fist. Y'all ain't gonna care nothing about Jackson State no more. I bet you that. But y'all gonna ride Dion until he takes him to the moon, up out of Boulder to the moon. Y'all ain't no good, B. I'm talking about y'all, you people like you.
Okay, go ahead, speak on it.
Say it again.
Go ahead, speak on it. Go ahead. So how are we wrong talking about? And hold on,
don't say we, say you, because you can't speak for everybody else. You can only speak
hold up. I'm gonna get to you. I'm gonna get to you. Hold on a second. Okay, SWAC Buzz, you real wrong about that. Maybe you're not yet, but there are some that there are. Lexus Drive First CL1. Let me tell you. When I say making money, I'm talking about enough money to live off of. I'm not talking about, a good, nice little pocket change for the month. I'm talking about money to where you ain't got to work no more, where you could just do YouTube full time. That's what I'm talking about. It ain't too many platforms making money like that talking about Coach Prime content. That's what I'm talking about. But let me get back to this caller. Hold on. Let me get back to this caller. All right, so caller, you saying now go ahead and say what you were saying again, because I lost my train of thought.
What I was saying, but just what you just got to say. You struggling now. You got probably about 10, maybe 13 so many views, and you've been doing real good since Prime made that move. You notice your numbers have changed and went up since that, because everybody else's number have. So like my point is, and I'm gonna ask you again, when are you gonna stop sticking him?
When am I gonna stop sticking? How am I sticking him? Tell me, how am I sticking him? Because if I want to stick him, if I wanted to stick him, all of my videos would be talking about everything he's done, everything going at him every day. Use a lie, bro. Use a lie, because I could look at my channel right now and tell you that most of my videos, we've been talking about the SWAC. And then when Coach Prime came up, I've been fair to Coach Prime. People call me a Coach Prime disciple. So it kills me when people come on here talking about I'm sticking the knife in him, when people been calling me a Coach Prime disciple, a fan. I'm talking about I've been protecting Coach Prime. People been saying I haven't been talking about Coach Prime enough. But now you got people like this dude coming on here talking about, so I'm sticking a knife in his back. everything I've said about Coach Prime has been completely fair. I don't talk about Coach Prime like that. I would have been talking about this last week if I was talking about him like that. I mainly talk about the SWAC, but we're in the off season. So of course, when I start a show, I'm gonna talk about whatever I want to talk about. But then when the conversation, if it goes to Coach Prime, I'm gonna talk about it. So come on, dude.
All right, I'm gonna let you hang with that. I'm gonna go back and do my
Yeah,
homework on your
yeah. Please do your homework.
Understand what this is for you, bro. Please, come on. You put me on pause. You ain't got to do all that now. Look, I'm gonna go back and do my homework again, but I'm gonna be watching you, young man. And look here, and I'm gonna be watching your views and how you gonna keep going up. And I'm gonna see if you're gonna stick with Jackson State, like you sticking real close.
I ain't got no choice but to stick with Jackson State. I was born in this.
Yeah, right.
I was born in this, brother. This is my culture. I have no choice but to stick with Jackson State. Even if I go off and do other things, I'm still gonna be for the SWAC, and I'm still gonna be for this culture because that's what I was born into. I've been going to games, Jackson State games and SWAC games ever since I was a toddler. I'm not some new person that just hopped on board when Coach Prime came. I've been going to games every year, representing the SWAC. I graduated from Jackson State. I've been of this culture since before I can remember, bro. My family went to Jackson State. Like this is my culture. So I'm not somebody that just hopping on because Coach Prime was here and ready to hop off. I'm always gonna be of this culture.
Okay. So if I go back and look at your state, when I go back and look at your channels, I'm gonna go back at least 2-3 years, huh?
Go ahead. You can do that.
When I go, that's what I'm gonna see. Am I right or wrong? I'm actually
no. My platform didn't start. You know, the reason why I started my platform is because people that were talking about SWAC content and SWAC videos when Coach Prime came were people that didn't come from a SWAC school. They didn't come from a SWAC school. That's why I made my channel. I said, hold up, all these people that's talking about Coach Prime and talking about Jackson State, they ain't from the SWAC. These people never been on the HBCU campus. Let me make a channel. That's the only reason why I made my channel. That's it. Now that we have Clint Clark and guys like that, I love that. We got people that's of this culture. We got BJ Jones coming on YouTube now doing things. We got people of this culture talking about, and there's no knock to people that didn't go to a SWAC school. I'm not saying, because I love guys like Corey, DJ. I love those guys. What I'm saying is, when I came up on here, I seen that a lot of people were talking about the SWAC and they wasn't of the culture. They didn't know a lot. And so I brought a new perspective. I brought an alumni perspective to this thing. And that's what my part was.
Can I ask you this question? This is a question I was going to ask you before. Can I ask you this now right there so I got a chance because you mentioning it?
Go ahead.
Well, I remember when Coach Prime said that, what is SWAC? If he ain't SWAC, what is SWAC? Is Deion Sanders SWAC? Because I really don't understand it. Is he SWAC? Can you understand it? Are you concerned? Is he SWAC?
What they mean by SWAC is let me tell you what Coach Robinson meant by what he said SWAC. When he said SWAC, he said somebody that's been in this culture, that grew up around this culture, that went to a SWAC school. That's what he meant by that. Now, would I say Deion is SWAC? Yes, he's SWAC because he coached in the SWAC. But is he of the culture? No, he's not. He's not of the culture. He's somebody that came in and experienced it and that got some concepts from it. But he's from the PWI culture. He's from Florida State. He went there. He's from that culture. He learned it. And I will say he's SWAC because he's been a SWAC coach. He's still going to have SWAC DNA in him because he coached in our conference. But will I just say that he's true SWAC digging through blood? Like, no, it's not. That's not what he is. You know, he came from another culture and came in and experienced it and then took it off and doing his thing in Colorado now. But come on now, it's two different worlds. But I will say, as a coach, yeah, he's SWAC. He's SWAC as a coach.
Can I say this, bro? Could you just say something else?
Let me get to the next call, man. I gotta get to the next call. I can't argue with you the whole time. What's going on, Carly Live? Talk to me.
What's going on, bud?
This
is Gabriel. How you doing tonight, man?
Yeah, what's going on, Gabriel?
Yeah, I feel you, man. Look here, it's like this right here.
Yeah, I said as a coach, he's SWAC. As a coach, he's SWAC. But when Eddie Robinson meant was growing up in it. That's what he meant.
Right.
Go ahead.
Right. That's exactly right. And then here's the other thing. You know, since he put his mouth on Jackson State, it's mighty funny that he's gone up there to Colorado and he got with the band trying to play some, you know, trying to put some black culture into Colorado. Now, ain't that funny?
Right.
Hello?
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
honestly, I think Deion is kind of done stuff like that on purpose because he knows it's gonna rile us up. It's gonna put him in the headlines. I think a lot of this stuff is coordinated. I really do because he already said that he be telling his son to post stuff that's gonna make him mad. Yeah, go ahead and post it. Watch it make him mad. Yeah, so he knows what he's doing. He does it on purpose.
Yeah. Okay. I agree with that. But at the same time, too, I do think he missed that HBCU experience, man. Because you know, when he was talking with the band, he was talking about, you know, bringing some HBCU to Colorado. You know, so I think he missed it, man, because it's just too much stuff. You know, he done did. You know, up there, like he was talking about. They you know, they didn't have no grits, so now they're doing grits up there.
Yeah.
You know, didn't have no black barber. Now he got black barber. So you know, it's just certain things. Like I said, he talked crazy about Jackson State, but he missed it.
Yeah, I believe that. Let me get to the next call, Gabriel. Appreciate the call.
All right, man. I'm gonna keep listening to you, man.
All right. I love when the tractors call up, though. I love when they call up because, you know, I actually like to dialogue with them and see what their process. What's going on, Caller? You live, talk to me.
What's going on, SWAC boys, man? Hey, they got me heated tonight, man. Look, wait, I'm trying to tell you, man. Look, hey, I remember I told you, man. Start betting these people before they start talking. That clown gonna call in, ain't even did his research. Gonna time to tell you about your water bill in your house, and they don't even know how to read a meter.
Right.
Like, man, these folks is a clown. He's a clown. Anybody else call like him is a clown. Don't call and call yourself trying to check somebody, and you don't even know your background and history. Sound like he halfway slurred and drunk. Man, look, SWAC, don't you try to vouch for nothing else for nobody that don't even have the credentials they sell. You've done enough. You've been doing enough. You've been giving people the platform, and you've been covering. If you ain't SWAC, nobody else is.
Right.
And we know that because we've been original members and original listeners. These folks is idiotic, man. It goes back to what you say. Where do these people come? Please, SWAC, start vetting these people. You need to start asking them what church they mama go to, what you know what I'm saying? Where they getting their Sunday dinner from, man? These some clowns, bro. They flat out clown. It's ridiculous, man. This is uncalled for. Gonna try to check you, and he act like he can't even spell his last name right. We're gonna try to tell you what you've been covering and everything. These folks is crazy, man.
I think what is
he?
I think what they think is that I'm somebody that, you know, oh, Coach Prime came to the SWAC. Let me start covering. Let me start covering that. Now, there's a lot of YouTube channels out there. They weren't covering SWAC content. They don't know nothing about the SWAC. They just start covering it because it gets views. You know, so there's, you know, it's a lot of platforms like that out there. But if you do your research, you would know. Okay, he went to Jackson State. He's from the SWAC. He's from the SWAC conference. And I've been doing this. If you go to my first video on my platform, it's about the SWAC. And I've been doing SWAC videos ever since. I wasn't covering baseball 2-3 years ago and then started covering SWAC content when Coach Prime came. That's not how my channel got created. And so it's just a lot of people not doing their homework and they just want to call in, complain.
And that's my point. It's the difference between guessing and knowing. And the nerve of you to kind of try to condemn somebody and you don't know what you're talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I'm going to try to call you out on your platform and they ain't even done their own research. It's ridiculous. Look, man, these folks must be Dion family members or something, man. These folks crazy tonight, man. Look, swear you've been doing a great job, man, and keep it going. And you got people like us, man, that's HBCU proud alums, man. We give back to the university and everything. Like I say, man, me, you, Mr. Ford, Kobe, like, we're gonna be all right, man. We're gonna be all right. These folks, that's how you know you're doing something good. When people start coming at your throat and neck, and when people leave you alone, you must not be doing good. But when they coming at you like that, you're doing a great job, man. Keep it going, man.
Thank you.
Crazy.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, man.
All right. They say I'm sticking a knife in Coach Prime back. Like, trust me, man. Trust me. Everybody knows if I was a Dion hater, if I was somebody that was trying to make videos to harm Dion and stuff like that, my platform would look totally different. Like I am in no way trying to harm Deion Sanders or his family or anything. I report the content that there's been put out there. And if HBCUs are being mentioned, I'm going to talk about it. If he's not talking about HBCUs, you won't see me make content about it. You know what I'm saying? The only reason I made content about this is because Marcellus Wiley is talking about HBCU, because Coach Prime did an interview with the Pivot podcast, and he talked about Jackson State. He's talking about the SWAC. So of course, me covering the SWAC, I'm gonna talk about this because they're talking about our content. They're talking about us. All right, hold on just a second. What's going on, Carly Live? Talk to me. What's going on, Carly Live? Talk to me. Hello, caller 770. Talk to me. Caller 770. You're on live. Talk to me.
Hey, hi. Yes, I just want to say one thing, Sweat Buzz.
Go ahead.
I appreciate. First of all, first and foremost, I appreciate you. I appreciate your content. I appreciate what you bring. I know you made the comment about people not making money because you have to get so many views and all that kind of stuff before YouTube will pay. Some people are, and you know what? I hope you be one of those people one day, because you deserve it, because you're putting out the kind of content that can make people, no matter how they feel about whatever, you've given them an opportunity to speak, they say, and you standing your ground about how you feel. I don't think for 1 minute you're doing anything to bash anybody, and at the same time you feel how you feel about it, and you'll call a person accountable.
Yeah.
So I don't know what these people are talking about that are calling. They're not listening to you. They're just waiting on the phone, evidently, to just say what they gotta say. That's coming at you, because you're giving people the opportunity to speak how they want to speak, feel how they want to feel, and then you have the opportunity to do the same.
Yeah.
Now, the last thing I'm gonna say, then I'm gonna hang up and let you take some other calls, is that you said something about watching the Pivot. I saw that, but I didn't look at it. So because you mentioned and talked about how they really kind of challenged it with the questions, that's why I'm watching it.
Yeah.
So just keep doing what you're doing, brother, and tell these people to stay on top of it and stop trying to come at you when they call into your show.
Right.
Because obviously, if they're not hearing you, if they don't understand where you stand in the situation. That's all I got, brother. Keep doing a wonderful job.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
All right.
All right. Yeah, man. So, yeah, I have integrity, man. I would not get on here and take personal shots and try to bash people like that, because that's just not what I do. And I'm not a clout chaser. Trust me, I'm not a clout chaser, because if I was a clout chaser, there's stuff that I could put out that you know I could use for clout. You know, I've been DM'd by, you know, people that with notoriety, but you know what? Those DMs stay private, because guess what? I'm not a clout chaser. I don't put stuff like that out. So I don't come on here to make personal attacks, to personally attack people. I come on here to talk about the content that's put out there. Like I say, if people talking about HBCUs, I'm going to be on the other side of it. I'm going to be that other voice. I'm going to voice my opinion on it. If you say HBCU people have broken mentalities, I'm going to respond to that. And that's just what it is. But yeah, y'all, I appreciate y'all tuning in tonight. This was a good show. We had some good calls tonight. I'll probably be going live. I definitely want to go live soon so we could talk some basketball, because You know, they're about to go into the tournament. So hopefully our basketball teams, a lot of our basketball teams can get in the tournament this year. I know Jackson State girls have been doing really good. But yeah, this has been a good night. And, you know, the detractors that are going to call in, like I said, a lot of people were fans of Coach Prime, and I was too, you know, and I'm still a fan of Deion Sanders, the player. I'm still a fan of Deion Sanders, the player. There's a lot of things that I don't agree with Deion Sanders, the coach, has done, you know, since he's left Jackson State. But I'm still a fan of Deion Sanders, the player. And I understand people grew up being a fan of him. He's an icon to them. And so when you say anything to critique him, they're going to get emotional about it. So I understand that. But yet and still, I'm never going to take it too far to where I'm making personal attacks. All of my things are pretty much constructive criticism, pretty much when I speak. And anything I say on my platform, if Deion Sanders was in my face, I would tell him the same thing, you know, and I won't I've never disrespected him or his family. Anything I've said has come from a genuine place. But yeah, I appreciate y'all liking the channel and subscribing to the channel. We'll be doing more videos soon, and I'm gonna catch you guys on the next episode. All right, y'all have a good night.